Let's maul in the Central Committee. Let's cringe in the Central Committee. Let's bog in the Central Committee right now.
All right, chat. And here's why I'm tired of the worst part. Again, Martin Luther King Jr. in Letter from the Birmingham Jail. He's so right. He's so right that the number one problem that we face is white goddamn moderates. It's white goddamn moderates. You know, outright opposition I can understand. But weakness, lukewarm in the face of fascism? Are you serious? How could you see what the Republican Party is doing right now and be lukewarm? White moderates, peepo spit.
To believe, but for 28 of the past 50 years, California has had a Republican governor. And for a while this spring, it looked like the GOP might take back the governor's mansion after engineering a recall election against Democrat Gavin Newsom.
Yeah,
but
Luna, we'll watch
6 days
that.
from the final balloting, things are looking much better for Newsom. Even the Republican polling firm, the Trafalgar Group, shows the governor widening his lead to near double digits in recent weeks. But you know how you can really tell that things look good for the Democrats? By listening to Republicans.
The only thing that will save Gavin Newsom is voter fraud. So as they say, stay woke, pay attention to the voter fraud going on in California, because it's going to have big consequences not only for that state, but for upcoming elections. Every bad idea originates in California, and that just happens to be where Kamala's from. No coincidence.
Oh my God, dude. They all look the same. All like Fox, because they all look the same. It's like absolutely no authenticity in how any of these people, they just look like manufactured products. Like not even human beings.
Coincidence there.
That's right-wing Fox pundit Tommy Lahren speculating yesterday that the recall election is rigged. All the evidence she needs is the Democrats run California. Kamala Harris is from there. Figure it out. It's bonkers. What kind of strategy is that? Who's the madman?
And the fact is, like, we accept that. Like, I watched that, and my reaction wasn't rage. My reaction wasn't to flip out. My reaction was kind of like commenting on the aesthetics, but the content is batshit fascist. That's Civil War talk, chat. That's Civil War talk. What Tomi Lahren was doing right there is a rejection of civil government. And I know it doesn't feel like it because you've heard it so many times, but the logic of the elections are stolen is war. The reason, and why do I say that? Because we have elections so that we don't have wars. We don't have civil conflicts. And we allow a peaceful transition of power between factions based on popular support. And instead of finding out which faction is going to win the war to take over the country and having a purge, we have a democracy where we shift power between different factions and coalitions as they grow in popularity with the country. That's the innovation of democracy. You get to do politics without killing each other. But when you reject that process, when you reject the civil process and you say you can't, anything the other side does is illegitimate because the other side did it, that's Civil War talk, man. I encourage you to take a real hard look at what Civil War looks like. Take a look at the Russian Revolution. Take a look at the Spanish Civil War. Take a look at the American Civil War. Take a look at these wars and see how it affected normal ass folks like you and me. And maybe you won't have as much of an appetite for it. Evan does good sometimes. Thanks for the 5 months. Sounds like uncivil war. As a non-American, please have a civil war so that you can be distracted from curb stomping the rest of us. If the United States has a civil war, that will have every single country on the planet will be enmeshed in the American Civil War. And it will split, it'll spill over to all sorts of other places. There's absolutely no way the American Civil War would be contained to the United States of America. That's batshit.
Charge of such a strategy.
The polls appear to show Newsom looks safer at this point. Larry Elder is the man that could take it from him. What do you think happens in California?
Well, it's probably rigged. They're sending out all ballots. It's all the ballots are, mail out, mail in ballots. In fact, I guess you even have a case where you can make your own ballot. When that happens, nobody's going to win except these Democrats. So, look, they're very good. The one thing they're good at is rigging elections. So I predict it's a rigged election. Let's see how it turns out.
Lies. All lies from the former president. I mean, did they rig all the polls showing Newsom with a big lead too? Donald Trump is going for it again. Here he was a week ago.
Be careful. The election's coming up, whether it's California, Virginia, and you know how they cheat in elections. The Virginia governor's election, you better watch it. You have a close race in Virginia, but it's not close if they cheat. And it's not close in California if they cheat.
Trump is talking about Virginia there, where most polls consistently show Democrat Terry McAuliffe with a lead, a clear lead, including 2 polls by the same GOP firm that has Newsom up big in California. Must be fraud, right? This is the Republican ethos now. They have made it very clear that they will not accept any election
McAuliffe is only up
defeat.
5. He
Every
could
time
lose
they
that.
lose, or merely think they might lose, they will claim it was stolen from them. They see rigged elections all around them, the way Haley Joel Osment's character in The Sixth Sense saw dead people everywhere. It's not like we didn't know this was going to happen. Forget about 2020. Forget about January the 6th. Look back to 2016 when Donald Trump called for a new Iowa caucus after Ted Cruz beat him, claiming fraud. And he said this about the general election.
You have been warning at rallies recently that this election is rigged and that Hillary Clinton is in the process of trying to steal it from you. Do you make the same commitment that you will absolutely, sir, that you will absolutely accept the result of this election?
I will look at it at the time. I'm not looking at anything now. I'll look at it at the time. What I've seen is so bad.
Trump did it again in the 2018 midterms. In an eerie preview of election night 2020, he demanded that the vote counting in his home state be stopped while Republicans were ahead, tweeting, quote, "The Florida election should be called in favor of Rick Scott and Ron DeSantis in that large numbers of new ballots showed up out of nowhere. And many ballots are missing or forged. An honest vote count is no longer possible. Ballots massively infected must go with election night." Political scientists have a name for where these conspiratorial lies lead: electoral autocracy. Republicans are increasingly signaling that they're over democracy, that they have no use for elections unless a positive outcome is assured. And if it isn't, well, you know what that looks like. Thousands of partisans believing that violence can get them what a fair election couldn't. Where are the Democrats on this? In the exact same place they were in 2016, in 2018, in 2020. Asleep at the wheel. Unable, with a congressional majority right now, to enact voting rights legislation, much less combat the proliferation of absurd election conspiracy theories on the right. But we can no longer laugh these things off. We can't. We can't laugh about this stuff. We have to confront America's electoral autocrats. Because if you think dealing with these sore losers is bad, imagine what can happen if they once again, by whatever method, become sore winners. Hi, I'm Mehdi Hasan. Thanks for checking out our channel on YouTube. You can see more of the Mehdi Hasan Show by clicking on any of the videos on this screen, and make sure you subscribe.
It really does feel like 1930 again, huh? It really feels like that, man.